Hi there guys, this is Hector from Vhector Graphics and this is your 10-minute tutorial. So you want to learn how to change somebody's eye color? Well, you're in luck today. We're gonna be going from this to this. So doing this will allow us to talk about shapes, blending modes, and some other tricks that I might show you guys today. So don't forget to press that subscribe button and the little bell, very important. So let's do this. Okay, let's create a new document. So we go to File, New. Now let's make this document 8.5 by 11. Or the size of a regular piece of paper, like a paper sheet. DPIs, let's set it to 300. Choose RGB as our color setting since we're working for displays right now, and hit create. Next, let's import the same picture we were using on the first tutorial of this series. By the way, if you want to watch that tutorial, since it explains in more detail how to create a new document and importing the picture, please click on the card that's gonna appear on the top and then come back to this one. To import the picture, we go to our Finder, navigate to where the picture you want to use is, hold click, drag, and drop it into your canvas like so. Now that the picture is here, let's make it occupy the whole canvas instead of only the center. To do this, let's first review how we can change the orientation of the canvas. As you can see, the picture is horizontal and the canvas is vertical right now. So to make this, we go to Image, Rotate Image, and let's use the 90-degree clockwise. So it goes one way or the other, depending on your needs. In this case, let's use 90 degrees clockwise. Now that the canvas is horizontal, let's rotate the image by pressing Ctrl T. That's gonna bring up the transform container, and by placing the mouse on the corner a bit outside of the node, you can see the corner. Not the corner, the arrow formed like an arrow but bended. That's a rotation tool. So press Shift, click, and rotate the image to the correct position. You're gonna see that the image is gonna snap. It's not gonna go freely, so it's gonna snap. So when you reach the appropriate position, it's gonna be straight. It's not gonna be crooked. There, we have the image on the same orientation as the canvas now. So let's put the mouse right on top of the node, and while pressing Shift, click, and then press Option and drag until the picture fills the whole frame, like so. There you go. Now that the picture is set to the correct proportions and orientation, we can go ahead and start working on the color of the eyes. So for doing this, since the pupil is like round, we're gonna be using the shape oval, so like a circle. Shapes are vectors. Photoshop allow us to create and modify without them like pixelating. So it's kind of a crossover from Illustrator. So it's a nifty tool that gives us a lot of freedom right inside Photoshop without having to go to Illustrator. So to create a shape, we go to the tool panel and hold down, like click and hold, and you'll see that we have a sub menu here with a lot of some shapes here. Now we pick the circle. This is what we're gonna be using. Once you have the circle selected, now we can create an oval by clicking and dragging freely, or by holding Shift and the Option key while dragging. Is gonna go like the same thing as that we did with a transform tool on the picture. Is exactly the same. It's the same principle. Let's zoom in a little bit and create the circle more or less like her pupils. Now let's change the color of the circle that we would like her eyes to be ultimately. So we go over here and we choose blue. Let's choose blue to, like, you know, her eyes are blue right now. Let's choose a different, not so natural blue, just for the sake of the tutorial. So now that we have the circle for the eyes set up, it's done now. Let's use the transform tool, the same one that we use transforming the picture, to like adjust the circle that we created to her pupil. Now let's change the blending mode. Now that we have the circle for the eye set, let's use the transform tool to adjust that circle that we created exactly to her eye, so it match exactly how it is. So let's do that for a second. There you go. Now let's change the blending mode on the new pupil color to make it blend with the photo of the real eye below, effectively changing the color. So blending modes, as I explained before, blending modes are the way that a layer that is on top of another layer blends in. So we have a ton of blending modes. I'm gonna explain them like one by one in another tutorial, but what I usually do is like I start scrolling, I start using them all until I find the one that I think is the best. Okay, so let's do that now by pressing Shift and the plus and minus keys on the keyboard. You're gonna start like scrolling one by one, and you can see what they do. Okay, so here we go. I think this one is a perfect one. As you can see, the color now changed completely, but it didn't adapt the color that was behind it. So what it actually did was ignore the color from the layer below, and it adopted the color of the circle, and that's pretty cool. So now, as you can see, it's too hard. The circle, you can see, like really perfect. In real life, there's nothing perfect. There's not hard edges. That's not natural. Maybe you think there are, but there aren't. So we need to like soften a little bit that. So for that, we're gonna use the blur tool. So because yes, the name of the game with photo manipulation is subtle. It's be as subtle as you can. You don't have to like let people know what they're looking at. They need to feel that they are looking at something. So that's your job. Let them know that what they're looking at is real, but to achieve that, you need to be subtle. Okay. So let's apply this blur by going into Effect, Blur, Gaussian Blur. We adjust this number. This one, let's see. This is perfect. There you have it. Now, once we have this all perfect on this eye, let's just go ahead and duplicate this circle and put it on the other eye. So you don't have to do the same thing twice. You can grab one and like duplicate it and drag it to the other eye, adjust it, and that's it. So we can do this by going to layers, right click, duplicate, or you can hit Option key, click on the object you want to duplicate and drag. As you can see, the arrow changed to 2. There's gonna be 2 arrows there. That means that you're duplicating that object. Let's place this circle on the other eye now. And using the transform tool, let's make this layer fit exactly on her eye, like so. And there you go. Now, for the fun of it, let's make her lips like more attractive. Okay, just let's create a shape with this pen. This is called the pen tool, and this is one of your best friends. Let me tell you, we're gonna get into that in another tutorial. Let's make this. We basically go along with the contour of her lips, like so. The top one first, and now the bottom one. And we go to the left upper corner. You can see here that it says shape. Press that, and now we have a shape. Now that line that I created, that outline, that turns into a shape, an actual shape, and I can give it color. So we go and we give her a really dark color. Don't worry, it's gonna, you'll see, it's gonna be a cool effect now. Now, okay. Now, in order for this to work, again, we have to be subtle. So we're gonna be creating a mask. Again, something that I'm gonna be talking about like exclusively in one video, one future video. But mask, actually, what let you do is like taking one object and erase parts of that object without destructing that object. And that is super important. Never ever destroy any object that you're working in, because you might want to come back later on. Okay, that's really important. So we create this mask. Here you go. You see that that small icon that you got there. That means that it has a mask. So we clean up this side here, this side over here, and let's bring up the highlights on the lips. So we erase a little bit here, and there you go. Really subtle, really, you know, not almost there, but it makes an improvement. And there you have it, guys. We went from this to this, from this to this, and that is, it's a pretty cool trick. As you can see, it was really fast. Oops. So, you know, study it, see how it really works, everything. Like, hope this tutorial helped. But as you can see, you can apply, if you realize this, you can apply this to anything that you want to do. If you want to put a tattoo on her face, we might do that in another tutorial. You can do that. The blending modes, they are amazing. You can do a lot of stuff with them. So there you go. This is just like a preview of what we will be doing in the future. Of course, we're gonna be complicating stuff like a lot, but yeah, this is a small sample of what we can do with this kind of tools. Okay, so there you have it. Alright guys, this is all I have for you today. If you have any suggestion, any comment, please let me know on the comments below. Also, if you want a tutorial about something specific, please let me know also in the comments, and I'm gonna be reading them all, and probably I'm gonna like make that tutorial for you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and the little bell, and see you on the next tutorial. Hector from Vhector Graphics, signing out.